Hello traders, my name is Yaroslav, Chief Market Analyst at OlympTrade.com, and I welcome you to another special roadmap for the week ahead. Let's go over the roadmap between October 12th and 16th. We are going to analyze what has brought us here, the events from last week, and also we'll talk about the most interesting news for this week. We will go through technical analysis of the euro dollar, the British pound, the Russian ruble, as well as the situation on Bitcoin. So let's talk about what happened last week, you guys. On October 7th, we had the meeting minutes from the FOMC. Now, both the meeting minutes from the FOMC and the here we have the ECB monetary policy meeting minutes. They were they left the markets pretty flat, pretty bland. Not a lot happened right after they came out, and reading into them, we saw that both banks are looking for additional monetary stimulus. And in fact, the head of the ECB, Christine Lagarde, confirmed that they need fiscal support for the economy. So there's going to be another cash injection coming real soon. As for the United States, there are disagreements between the Democrats and the Republicans on how the new package of economic support should be put into action. Now we have the elections, the presidential elections coming up in the United States, and there's a fight between the two presidential candidates, and the next month will clearly take a more politicized shade of events, and these are risks for the US dollar. So we have the US dollar growing a little bit today. Coming in the next little while, it is more likely to fall than anything else. The dollar average, let's have a look at the dollar average as part of the equation. So this is what you want to look at to gauge where the dollar is going. Now, we had a really big bullish day that covered up most of the trading on Friday. What this means is that we're positioned and we're more likely to continue growing this week, as has been the case. You guys, when we have a big candle down like here, this is a bottom. So this is the bottom for the US dollar around 92. Like I've said to you guys before, 92 is the bottom for at least for the next little while. Another reason why the US dollar may lose before it gains is the cash injection that they do, right? Giving people helicopter money, like it's called. I think it's in the amount of $1,200. Obviously, that's going to devalue the currency, as you know, multiply that by the amount of people that live in the United States, and you'll get a pretty sizable number. They're looking to make a second cash giveaway for that same amount to the American population. So that is definitely one of those things to watch out for. Now, also on Thursday last week, we had the initial applications for unemployment benefits right here. And what I want to tell you guys is that this is a very important statistic. Make sure that you watch this. As you guys see here, it's bold. That means it is only a 2-star rating. Don't get it confused. This is a very important indicator, and you want to watch it every time it comes out for the month. It's basically the number of applications per week, and the dollar reacted to this news with a decline. So keep in mind that this is an indicator that you want to watch. And last but not least, I do watch the Japanese yen, and here we have an index of household spending. Now, this is another sneaky one. This is a 1-star rating in trading economics, but to me, this is a really big and important gauge of the economy. Japan, just like Great Britain, just like Europe, just as the United States, they're a consumption-based economy. Most of their GDP is from the money spent within the country. And so household spending for the month of August is a very important indicator, and it directly affects the future economic picture. Now, another thing that we talked about was Trump being discharged. Trump is taking a medication called Remeron, and their stock, of course, grew. on the NASDAQ. So on the issue of recovery, in my opinion, it's very important to know and continue watching how the coronavirus pandemic is affecting not only the United States, but also Europe, who's having a really difficult time besides Europe. I think Russia is on a second wave as well. So lots of information that you can gather just by watching the headlines related to the Trump vaccine. We recommend you pay special attention to a company called Johnson & Johnson, as they are gonna make money as, come on, here you are, as mandatory vaccination comes into play in the United States. This stock is definitely one that you want to be buying and that you want to be holding. Also, I think they reported this week, today they reported their earnings for the third quarter. Obviously, they're a little bit disappointing, but every time that a good company drops, it's a good time to buy. Buy the dip is a working strategy. Now, for this week, let's have a look at what's going on this week in the market. So, probably the most important one is the change in number of applications for the UK climate count change right here. Yep, it's in bold. Basically, this statistic is also very important for the economy, and it came out below the forecast, and this may have a positive effect on the British pound as more and more people of the population are employed. Now, another important is the consumer price index in the United States, and that's going to come out tomorrow. CPI data right here. The core inflation rate is actually super important, and it congregates together with the consumer price index. It's also a measure of inflation. Tuesday, 15:30, they are coming out. So Tuesday at 15:30, here it is. Inflation rate, CPI, and core inflation rate. Definitely things that you want to watch. This will impact the US dollar substantially. Also, financials for Goldman Sachs are being released on Wednesday. Guys, please make sure to watch the data release, because Goldman Sachs is going to be the first out of the Wall Street banks to report their earnings, and it will give you an inside look at what to expect. Come on. What to expect from earnings in the banking sector. Their stock actually spiked on Monday. This is due to the broad market is crashing, but their stock spiked on Monday, and that's a little bit of the foreshadowing. Their activity, the trading, has also increased by 30% at the start of the month, at the start of the week. And like I said, watching this specific event will give you a foreshadowing of what Wall Street is feeling like in the third quarter. And last but not least, actually it's not the last issue, I wanted to tell you guys on Thursday. On Thursday, we have the number of initial applications for unemployment from the United States, right here. And this indicator is once again very important, and a little bit of foreshadowing for the non-farm payrolls, also a very high volatility event. And then on Friday, we have the inflation data for New Zealand. Actually, I don't have New Zealand here. But on Friday, inflation data for New Zealand is coming out, and the European Union. So pay attention both to the Kiwi, the NZD, and the Euro. Now, let's move on to the technical picture. I'm sure all of you guys want to have a look at what's going on the markets today. Let's have a look at the euro dollar first thing. The euro dollar actually took a substantial hit today in the opposite direction. We had the ZEW economic sentiment indicator come out today. The forecast was 70 something. It came out at 52. So it's the next 6 months look very bleak for the European Union. This indicator is from like 350 different institutional investors. So guys who know what they're doing or know what the market is like, know what the business climate is like. And so that made a big hit to the euro. But more importantly, it's the dollar gaining strength. Right now, we're in a period, or today is a period of increased dollar strength. The big level of support for the euro dollar is right here at 116. This is when the game changes. When we break that level, that means that price is going to drop. And what you guys want to do is go ahead and plot a trend line from these two levels, as these are the lows that when they are broken, we have a change of trend. As you guys know, the euro has been in a fantastic period of growth, and it's very possible that we have topped out. This kind of slow yet continuous movement down is the way that the euro loves to travel down. Now, moving on to the pound dollar currency pair, we have a similar picture, but the pound has put more in towards the growth. This isn't a one-sided bearishly ordeal. This pair is testing its strength. If we add on the 200 moving average, we can see the way that price interacts and that we hit a very strong level of support. It's too early to talk about a full-blown breakout to the top, but it's important that you are aware that the British pound can continue higher. Because of the Brexit situation, the trading partners that now it gains and the way it positions itself within world geopolitics could actually improve Great Britain's status and their currency as well. So looking at this pair, and let's have a look at some exotic currency like the Russian ruble. As the technical picture painted is also very interesting. Now we have the resistance for this currency, and actually the resistance is multi-year. In 2014, Russia had a major crisis, and also the stopping point was at 80. So that's basically the point that we hit. Now, as you guys can see, price is sticking to a very strict trend line going higher. And the general consensus in the country is that a continuation is likely if the US dollar continues to gain strength, which is one of the options that we have on the board this week. If we don't break this trend line, I do recommend more of a buy position, and the indicators by the time that we do have a turnaround here, our oscillators will also show us that, hey, it's time to buy. And when you get that confirmation both from an oscillator and a trend indicator, like say 2 moving averages or a Bollinger Band strategy, then you can go ahead and buy the dollar ruble. And last but not least, let's go ahead and have a look at the Bitcoin cryptocurrency. This is the godfather of all the altcoins out there. The picture with Bitcoin is that there's a technical resistance at and around 11,180. So somewhere around the top of this spike, and the support is at 10,350. Now this asset can be said to be called flat, or it can be a pronounced trend. I believe that it's difficult trading right now in Bitcoin. A much better trade would be gold, that has recently broken out and retested a very strong bearish trend line. And if you guys have a look at the graph, this is something that gold has been doing for all of this year. So this is definitely one of those trades that I recommend having a look at, as we are already now in the part of the breakout. That's it for today, you guys. I hope that our roadmap helps you make money trading this week. follow our videos, like our streams, and make sure to subscribe. Leave me a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, and ring the bell. The reason you should do this is that you have an opportunity to know whenever we post A, new content, or B, we have live streams where we give away free stuff to you. So my name is Yaroslav. Thank you guys for your time, and together with Olymp Trade, we wish you guys good luck trading out there.